Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Lee Poitier, and if you're returning, what's good? Holla at your girl. Welcome back. This month is a month of so many celebrations. I'm celebrating 10 years of being single, non-committal, and 8 years of being in Christ. And I know you only see glimpses of my life and fitness and fashion, but I was like, you know what, let me just go ahead and share this part of my life as well, because it's so important to me. And I don't think a lot of young women and even men take this part of their lives, this moment in their lives, for themselves. And I've done such a great job at it, so I wanted to share it with you all, and I wanted you all to kind of have a better understanding of who Lee Poitier is. Okay, I'm gonna just be talking about why I've been single, non-committed for 10 years, what single life has been like, standards, as well as my type. I know some of y'all are interested. I do want to give you all a backstory to why and how I even got to this point in my life. So at the age of 19, I just got out of a long-term relationship with my high school sweetheart for like 4 to 5 years, and I remember making a decision after the breakup to follow the vision God had given me. So I moved back home with my parents for about a month, and then I decided to go ahead and pursue my purpose in Miami. A month passes, I'm now living in Miami. I decided to sign myself up to go to the community college. I was still hosting clubs, I was still doing music videos, I was traveling. If you don't know my life before you met me now, living in New York, acting, and now doing YouTube, I was a video vixen. So 2 years later, while living that lifestyle, I re-encountered God, and that elevated my life even more. So within those 2 years, I was still clubbing, hanging out, going to college, hosting clubs, doing music videos, but I was still single. My goal was, let me just live my life. I had been in a committed relationship for a long time. I needed to grow. I needed to learn who I was, what I wanted out of life, and all of those things. Plus, I was like living the life. So I was not even thinking about a boyfriend, to be honest. Now, mind you, I just re-met God in my life at this point. So in this time frame, I was like, okay, I knew God growing up, and I was like, nah, I need to really know who he is. Yes, you guys, God is not a he nor a she, but for simplicity, I will say God, and I will use the pronoun he, so don't come for me, okay? Do not come for me. We're chilling, remember, we're chilling, okay? But I had to get that out of the way because I know how some of you guys can be. Okay. So I re-met God, and I really wanted to know who he was. I was like, you know what? I need to clear my life out from the partying, the drinking, the hanging out late, anything that I was doing that was outside of myself. I wanted to know him for myself, not from what my family or grandmother taught me, but for myself. But I bring that part of my life up because that is when I decided to become celibate. So we're 2 years later after the breakup. Now I've become celibate. While being celibate, I'm not even thinking about relationships. I'm not even talking to men. I'm just deep in the spirit of God. I'm deep in my school. I'm deep into like, what is my purpose? Who am I? All those things. Within those years, I lost my grandmother. I moved back to Palm Beach, had to recalibrate my life, my goals, and everything that I was doing, and decided to continue to pursue I'm 24 at this point. I've probably been celibate for 5 years. This is chit chat or story time. You know when you're like talking to someone, you're like, girl, long story short, and it still is a long story. My bad. So fast forward, we're now in New York City. It's 6 years within this journey. I get to New York and I'm like, okay, I'm following this whole new path, this whole new career. I'm in a new and bigger city. I was like, okay, Lee, you're gonna spend this next year building a strong foundation, building stability, and just focusing on my career path. I continue what I was doing in Miami, being celibate, no drinking, no going out. My head was in the gym and on the books, because now I'm like, okay, Lee, it's 24, you've been like real tight on yourself. And I'm not against love at all. I love relationships, but I also love me. I love God, I love purpose, and that comes first and foremost. Now we're 25 and I'm feeling comfortable in my workflow. I have my networks. Let's open ourselves up to date. I think we're like 6 to 7 years later into this journey. I'm 25, I'm opening myself up, and I'm like, okay, the next year, we're gonna start back dating again. All right, so now we're moving into single life. This time around, it was extremely fun because now that I'm older and I know myself more, I was like, okay, open yourself up to whatever God flows into your life. I dated different races, ages, and stages, and that was extremely new to me. At this point, I'm extremely confident in who I am so that I could be able to open myself up. Ladies, as well as fellas, when you do go through the time of celibacy, or you're just cutting yourself off from dating at the moment because of whatever your reason is, don't close your heart up to love. I know some people think like when they hear you've been single for 5+ years, like something's wrong with you or you're still hurt from your last relationship. And that's not the case. Like I've dated for sure. I am dating. I do date, but I just also am focused on my life. So what I'm going to say to you is to make sure that your heart is open to love. Make sure your heart is healed from your past trauma and things that won't bleed into your next relationships. And you know that you're ready to meet whomever God sends to you. I would really have fun on my dates. I think I ate foods that I had never had before, traveled to places I had never traveled before. I am so confident in myself. It's not like you don't have to have sex to go on dates. You don't have to break. Even if you're celibate, you can still date. You don't have to have sex to date. I just want to make that clear. It's such a beautiful thing when you are mature enough and then that person's mature enough and you guys have the understanding and respect and maturity between each other to know that. Just let's get to know each other. Let's see if we mesh well. Let's see what that's like, which I think is 2018. So that year I went on different dates. And what I mean by dating is this person clearly is interested in me. I think this person is cute, or, because I don't know them. So I'm just excited to date again at this point. Like, I'll be real. I'm just like, I'm happy to go on dates because it's been 7 years. So dating is honestly just going for coffee or tea, maybe going out for brunch, lunch, or dinner, movies, obviously pre-COVID, just hanging out, going for walks at the park, getting to know people. We're not committed to each other. We're just getting, hi, who are you? What's your name? Where you're from? So as far as my single life, that's what that was like. After my 26th year, I think I took a break. I was like, all right, I dated a couple guys. That was fun. I got to know what I liked even more and don't like even more. I took a break, refocus back on my purpose and goals. I think I dated like once that year. After opening yourself up to different cultures, you become more defined in what you like because you've had or experienced or dated or whatever these different cultures and ages and stages, whatever. Like you've dated different ranges. So now you start to really define and refine what it is you actually like or are looking for. I did get hurt along the way. Don't act like I was just out here like, oh my God, just living my best life and just traveling. And yeah, one guy I tripped up over, but you feel me? Like we bounce back and we keep it pushing because, and it was a choice that we both mutually agreed on. It wasn't like him or me. It was both of us like, use the time while you're being single to get to know, to heal, and then get to know yourself. Know what you like, know what you don't like. Like I know the things that make me happy, and I also know the things that make me have a side eye. Just get to know yourself, get to love yourself, be patient. There's no rush. Unless you want 5 kids by a certain age, then yes, find you a man that you want. Make sure he aligns with what you want and y'all just have y'all kids. But for me and my house, I am going to focus on getting my purpose, my life, my goals that God has destined me to have. And then yes, the husband comes. And then yes, the kids come. My goal is to have my house in order, my generational curse breaking soul, to do what I need to do. And yes, I would love my husband to be a part of that journey, but I'm going to do it with or without him because God created me to do what I am called to do. And then yes, we can do what we were called to do, but never feel like you need somebody else because God would have put whatever you need is already inside of you. But I'm not trying to preach right now. So we're going to move on to standards. All right. So this part is actually quick because it kind of ties into my type. Everybody should have standards, period. My standards might be too high for you. Your standards might be too high for me. It is what it is. It's your personal preference, period. Like it is what you want. And that's what it is. I've dated men that my friends would be like, girl, what do you see? And I'm like, googly eyed, having the best time of my life. And I've done it to my friend, girl, I don't see not ounce of nothing. I don't know how you don't even do it, because that's what friends do. So you don't have to match what somebody else's standards are. I just want what I want. I want what's mine, and I'm gonna keep it pressing. Don't get it twisted. I can be itchy sometimes. I can be very sassy. At the end of the day, have standards for yourself. And I'm gonna share my standards so you can have an idea of what your standards could be, what they are. But this is all a part of getting to know yourself first. The standards for me and my type, I don't go off of physical first. Like obviously you see somebody physically first, so that's your first attraction. But when you have a spiritually discerning spirit, that's not your first attraction. Like I've dated millionaires, get flown out to the beautiful places, they send you cars all the time, they'll buy your outfits to where you're going that night. It's such a glamorous like luxury, and it's so beautiful because that's what comes with a guy that you date with money. I've dated guys who work as hard as I do, where I have more money and I'm over here like building my own thing, and I was okay with that because that person had ambition, which is a standard of mine. And I was okay with that too because that came with a lot of different things. For me, your bank account when I meet you and where you are is not that important, because if you have 10 million in the bank, that's amazing. We're going to have a nice time. But as quick as you got it is as quick as you can lose it. Same thing with your body and your physical features. I gain and lose weight all the time. If I meet a man who has a chiseled chest and then say quarantine happens and he gains 15 pounds, does your love change? You know what I mean? So like, I don't have conditional standards, if that makes sense. Like I don't have physical conditional standards. My standards are more so, do you have the ambition? Do you have focus? I love a man who has vision. I'm a creator. I have visions 24/7. I have ideas all the time. So I need a man to match that energy. He doesn't have to be a creator. He don't have to be doing YouTube videos and filming stuff. No, that's not my issue. But a person who can see 2 months down the line, see 2, 5, 10 years down the line, that is like a big turn on for me. And then things like communicate. A person who is a big communicator, like you see how excited I'm like, oh my goodness, like yes. Like communication is so important to me that the first part of dating a relationship is communicating. So if you can't communicate well, I don't want to hear it. And I don't even ask a lot. Like I'm a very simple person. No, I say that, but don't get it twisted. I am sassy. Like, pause. Like, don't get it twisted. I've came too far to not be confident and bold in what I desire in life. Again, so for me, standards aren't conditional. If I'm into you and you have these other qualities and standards that I like in a man, we can make money together. You have goals and you have the mentality, we can get fit together. When I'm weak, you're strong, and I'm weak, we can go back and forth. Like, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for somebody we can build, grow, and do it together. Going into my type, height does not bother me. I know, I'm 5'10", by the way, if you didn't know. I am a tall being with long legs. If you're 5'9", 5'10", it doesn't bother me, and it bothers you that I'm tall, then what I see is insecurity, and I don't want to have to feel that insecurity. I don't want that insecurity projected on me. Then yeah, it's not going to work out because I'm going to feel your insecurity all the time. But if you're fine with me, if you're confident, you're like, nah, babe, do your thing, and you kiss up or whatever, especially if I have heels on, I'm not even thinking about it. So height is not a big issue to me. Yes, you do have to be 5'9" and taller. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's a standard. Like, height is not a big issue, but yeah, I'm not, you can't be 5'4". Like, that would make me feel awkward. Like, I would just be like this the whole time. Other things that are truly important to me, trust, loyalty, of course. A fit body is a plus, but it's not something that we can't get together. But you do have to take care of yourself. You see the difference? I don't care if you have a six-pack or not, but I do want to make sure that you have a nice hygiene. The most important thing, someone who loves God. I love God so much, unapologetically, unashamed. I love God. I need my man to know and love God. Maybe not as much as I do, but the way that I pray and worship and how much I do it, I don't want to be awkward around my man. That is something I'm highly, highly, highly seeking when I think about the man that I desire. Again, and I posted this the other day, I am seeking a man who then will be my husband and then will be the father of my kids, that matches my energy, that matches the level that I see myself. I'm not fully where I want to be, but I have a vision. I'm fighting for my future self every day. And I'm not trying to meet a man at where I'm at now. We got things to do. I need someone who's not just where I'm at now. I need someone that I can visually see my future self with. Honestly, a friend of mine sent me this Uncle TD Jake's preaching, who literally said, oh, you can love me now. I need to know, can we grow together? Can we glow together? Can we be and build together? Like, I've been around that lifestyle. I've dated that lifestyle. Don't get it twisted. Dating a millionaire versus dating a thousandaire is completely different when it comes to how they treat you in the physical realm of materialism, of course, but there's other things that they lack in, or maybe that's not your thing. I know this video is a little bit all over the place. I was trying my best to stay at least in the topics. This topic is so broad and there's still so much I want to dive in and talk about. But I hope you got to know me better. I hope you understand more of where I come from. If you've been following me long enough, you've honestly probably never seen me post myself with a guy, because I've been single like forever. And I'm not mad about it. I love my single life to the point that I was like, do I want to marry somebody? But like, girl, stop it. You know you do, because I do. I love love. I love, cuddling. I love having somebody that's my best friend. But until the day I meet my boyfriend, that then will be my husband, I am okay with loving myself, focusing on my purpose, because that is first and foremost, ladies. Trust me, have your own, period. And secondly, just vetting that person so you don't rush into something that then you have to break yourself out of. I would rather take my time, vet, get to know someone, have fun, not go with the flow. I do want to have some kind of goals and timelines, because people are like, oh, let's just go with the flow. No. I go with the flow with God, with you on this level, because I don't give my time to just anybody. I'm not out here dating every day. So if we're dating and hanging out personal time, we need vision. We need, what are our goals? Like some people get caught up in like, oh, I'm in a situationship for 5 years with no clear goals, and you just stay there. Do not end up in that place where you're just like, oh, I'm going with the flow, and 10 years pass. Where is the flow going? The flow don't stop, but it keeps going. I have this skin suit, this time frame. What is this like? So for me, before I rush, I'm taking my time. I'm vetting the men, but most importantly, I'm focusing on me and trusting that God will send the one that we will vet. We'll get to know each other. We'll have some laughs. We'll have some arguments, and we'll have some amazing, amazing times together, traveling, meeting each other's family, and to being like, yo, I can sit on the couch with you all day and watch a show and chill. Again, thank you all for joining me on this chit chat, get to know Lee. I know you all have lives, and I'm so grateful you decided to spend some of that time with me as we are growing and glowing together. Yes, I pray I meet my husband, my man. I'm dating someone right now that, who knows? But at the end of the day, you're single until you're actually committed in a relationship. Your girl is out here living her best life, growing and glowing and building the kingdom of God with my purpose, because I'm amazing. God bless you all. I'll talk to y'all in the next video. Later.